As I was winding down from Caliber and preparing to go abroad to Saudi Arabia, this short contract came along from Virginia College in the US. And they were wanting someone to write from scratch, using no textbooks, business communication course. So obviously with my background in the things I had done before, that's why I got the contract to do it. So I went through quickly the vision scope of what they were looking for. Did a whole series of lesson outlines. There was X amount of weeks that they wanted it to be done in, completely self-paced. Did a draft storyboard because what was interesting is Virginia College was working with Tata Communication out of India as the internet provider or the LMS provider, using a proprietary system that you could see in the samples. So I sent the draft storyboard to Tata so I could see what they could do. I saw what they could do. They basically sent me a draft. So here's a sample of one of the storyboards that I did with Tata. This is one they initially sent me and loaded in some of the information from the original job description or ideas from the course. I had completely revised it and rewritten it, so you're seeing me, all of the notes in the side here, what we're trying to do. A lot of my notes to them as well. So as we scroll down a bit here, you'll see in the left-hand side are my comments about wanting to, what kind of digital images or video images can they have and include based on the content that I'm dealing with. So this is the very first lesson. You'll see the LMS version of this shortly. But again, it goes through, the first part of this was the introduction to the course. And then it gets into the real meat of week one and the information they have to go through. And eventually at the bottom, it'll get into the type of assignments that are needed or the type of reading or sections of the textbook that they would have to go to. Storyboarded all of the lessons. I got Tata's input, and then we went back and forth until we got it right. Then I signed off on it and it was deployed. So here you're seeing a view of the proprietary LMS that they were using. You can see the Virginia College up on the top left-hand side. Down the left-hand side of the screen is the different weeks that they would go to, but you can't go to a week before you're supposed to, but you can go back and review. I'm having some problems navigating around. So this is on the communication. This is the explanation of the communication process, which was an image that I eventually sent up to them. These are images now which are used as tabs for different parts to explain the course. The images we went back and forth about which ones to use, or they gave me access to their image library so that I could choose. Then we have a quick sort of Q&A here to see are they getting the basic information right. So a lot of concept checking throughout. Again, now something explaining the next piece of what is going to happen. Slow internet when I recorded this many years ago. So now the next piece that's coming up, you see a timeline along the bottom that they can click on to sort of move through to hear about whatever this particular story is. Again, this is still in week one, so we're talking about the communication process, getting into everything about cultural issues, nonverbal communication, and many other areas that we needed to cover, but trying to fit it into a specific time frame or an average time frame it would take the average person who had never been to college, because this is a first year course, to work through. Now here's a bigger version of the communication process. So this is now a review. We're getting near the end of the lesson. I've obviously ran through this really quickly just to give a bit of an overview or a bit of insight into how this particularly proprietary LMS was going to be used.